gentlemen, live from Eastern North Carolina, it's time for the Trey Scott Sports Show. Introducing, coming from the right corner, standing at 6 feet 2 inches tall, the voice of Eastern North Carolina. Hailing from the roots of Greene County, your favorite sports writer, sports content creator, the face of Neuse Sport, and the host of Trey Scott Sports Show, Trey Scott!
Let's go. What an intro, 6'2", Trey Scott. Y'all ain't know about that, did you?
Not at all.
What's up, guys? How y'all doing?
Just fine.
We're fired up about it.
Let's do it. I'm Trey Scott. This is the Trey Scott Sports Show, the first episode ever. You're part of history right now. You're part of history. You're part of history. Let's do this. This is something that's going to last for a long time, and we're going to cover Eastern North Carolina sports, regional sports, whatever I want to talk about, because it's the Trey Scott Sports Show. And it's going to be exactly that. I talk about WNBA. I talk about NBA. I talk about college. I'm a big Tar Heel fan. But we're talking about Duke, East Carolina State, ECU. It doesn't matter. We're going to be on top of all of it. But most importantly, every show is going to be at least 2 segments on high school kids, high school programs, getting Eastern North Carolina the love they deserve. That's what I'm here for. That's what I'm building for. This is the Trey Scott Sports Show. Let's go ahead and jump into it.
All right.
Can't get into it just yet. Got to give a big shout out to all of our sponsors, starting with Tiebreakers. Cannot do it without you guys. They're our title sponsors. Big shout out to Tiebreakers. Caroline Medical Transport. Big shout out to those guys. I got San Juan. Big shout out to San Juan. Kristen Goyette with Success Mortgage Partners. Thank you, Kristen, for all you do and your sponsorship. And can't leave off my guy, Stephen Jones, with Good Life Financial Advisors. All right, got that out the way. It's time to talk. It's time to talk ball. Let's introduce my co-hosts first. And this is not regular co-hosts. These are chilling co-hosts. I'll have them rotating. As soon as he messes up, he's gone. I'll have somebody else. And they have no clue what we're talking about. They're just here to talk. Beside him, I didn't even say your name. Chappriel Pitt, track guy from North Carolina. Kinston runs the
Kinston Spirits.
Kinston Spirits. Give me your bio.
I'm from Kinston, North Carolina. I've been running the Kinston Spirits track team for 13 years now. We compete AAU, USA Track and Field. Got many kids in college. One of the top programs in the state. Work part-time with the Kinston Recreation Department. Do personal training. Probably the most famous black man in Kinston.
And I got him on because of that. That's why I got him on. That's exactly why I got him on. But then there's a special guest beside him. Let me run it off. Blake Herron comes to the show, the new Carteret Community College head baseball coach, coming from Lewisburg after putting in 10 years at Lewisburg, 267 career wins, 100 players advanced to 4-year programs. Blake Herron. How you doing, Blake?
I'm doing good.
Man, you tell me your story. Let's get that out of the way. Tell me where you started from, even though I know where you started from, how you got there. What's your journey been like?
Yeah, I'm an old, just country boy from Cheyenne Crossroads, North Carolina. I grew up playing baseball. I played every sport growing up, baseball, football, basketball. When I turned 15, I started working. I mean, I had to go get the worker's permit, so I've done that whole deal. And I played baseball at Greene Central. I also played football. We played together. And I went to play at Lenoir Community College, and then I went to play at Campbell University. And since I've got done playing, I've been coaching. I think 18 or 19 years, I can't even think of it. But I've coached at every single level. I've coached at the high school level, the 4-year level, and at the junior college level. And I love JUCO because, for one, I've got relationships on both sides of the game. I know all the high school coaches. I recruit from them. I follow them. But then I've got the 4-year coaches and the pro scouts that hopefully are coming in and recruiting our guys. So,
well, if you're from Greene County, you know Blake. If you're from Lenoir County, you might know him from playing against LCC a lot. Lewisburg played against LCC a lot. But now you decided to take a step into Carteret Community College, who doesn't have a baseball program until now. So you're starting literally, I don't know if I've ever seen this. You're starting a baseball program, collegiate baseball program from nobody, no rosters. First off, what was your decision on leaving Lewisburg?
Well, for one, Lewisburg has been good to me and good to my family, good to my career. Literally, so you think about this decision, it's kind of crazy to think about. I'm leaving a program that has all the history, has all the tradition. I mean, they've got all the alumni. From a facility standpoint, you can do everything there. And just the fact that I get a chance to come to Eastern North Carolina, to come to the beach, start my own program, create my own alumni, do it the way that I want to do, and it was, I mean, it's kind of a no-brainer there. So.
Well, what would the wife say about it? I mean, this is a move. This is a total. You're not moving down the road. You're not working, 10 minutes from the house no more. Like, what does the family say about?
Kelly's more happy than I am. She's ready to go. Oh yeah, we can't wait.
Good deal. What's the biggest obstacles you ran into, and was it ever overwhelming starting a baseball team with nobody on the roster?
So there's some of the stuff you don't think about. There's no infrastructure. Like there's no my first decision when I got there is where the recruits, where we gonna meet at. Mm-hmm. There's no gym, there's no training room, there's no the field isn't on campus. So we're meeting in a parking lot, literally overlooking the sound, which is a pretty good deal in itself. But there's no infrastructure. We're creating a locker room, we're creating a weight room. We're all of this stuff is brand new. And it's also exciting. I mean, on Friday, we spent 5 hours talking to the Johnson & Lamb guy, ordering uniforms, gear, apparel. And we've been doing that for weeks. Like, just think about from logos and you're creating everything.
Pinstripes.
So it's a
you
lot.
Got pinstripes this year?
We got a Navy pinstripe, man. I can't give it all to you, but we got the Scott Lane effect going on. They're going to be pretty good.
Well, I know about some of your players. Green Central, Noah Rouse. North Lenore's Michael Williams. South Lenore, Noah Rouse. Give me some other names that I might know, or some people from our area, Eastern North Carolina, might know, or most of the players from Eastern North Carolina, or that's the guys I know, or how's that work?
No, we have right now we've got 36 commits, and we've got 4 out-of-state commits, and about 85 to 90% are from that RDU area east. So yes, I mean I've hit. I think I went to about 30, and I can't remember, about 30 high school baseball games this year. I traveled close to 5,000 miles. I did more recruiting than I've ever done because that's all I could do. But I mean, we've got guys from Fuquay-Varina, Middle Creek. We've got guys from right here in Goldsboro, the ECA Academy.
Adam Pate.
I mean, yes. Yeah. Like all them guys. There's too much to Newbern, Havelock. Mooresville High School in the western part of the state, Northside Pinetown, West Brunswick, everywhere. Man.
So look, there's levels to the collegiate system, just like any other sport. You got JUCO, you got small D2, D3, whatever it's called. And there's levels. How do you know when a player's too good for you? Or is that never out of the reach?
Well, look, you got to have a little bit of an ego, and you got to reach for those guys. But if they're going to a Power 4 school, Carolina State, Campbell, like you kind of know. There are so many good programs at every level in our state, from D1, D2, literally. And I'm not saying we're getting the leftovers, but there's a lot of good baseball in our state for – the pick and get slim sometimes.
All right, so let's help Eastern North Carolina athletes out. You have a son that's in the 8th grade. This is hypothetically. You have a son that's in the 8th grade about to go to the 9th grade. What's your recruiting plan? How does he get recruited? What's he got to do to get recruited from camps to it? Do we still play travel ball? Do we play showcase? I don't want to give it away, but are we on Twitter? Do we post anything on Instagram? Does that matter what you post on Instagram? I don't want to run off too much, but what is the recruiting plan to make sure a high school kid starts from day one to get recruited?
Yeah, I think everything this generation is visual. You got to run your social media. You got to put your video out there, your metrics out there. I mean, literally, my job and every assistant coach's job in baseball, they're sitting there on Twitter, Instagram, scrolling all day, every single day, looking for stuff. So that's one of the ways you can do it. I'm a little bit biased. I've got relationships in the game, but nowadays, if you want to get in front of a certain school, you got to pay the money and go to the camp. There are showcase type camps where there's a lot of schools there that you can get a little bit of some action there. There are different avenues, but I think social media is one of the biggest ones.
Chappriel, feel free to chime in if you got a question.
No problem. Got you.
So talk about coaching JUCO, 2-year programs. How is it getting used to that, knowing that you might only have a guy 1 or 2 years, and how's that development? That's different from a 4-year program who's got a chance to develop a guy, even though the transfer portal has changed all that. Everybody's on 1-year contracts now. How is it developing knowing that you only got them for 2 years max?
Man, I've done that my whole life. That's all I know. And we don't have the 20-hour rule, and I ain't saying it's a 5-hour practice every single day, but all you got to do at the JUCO level, you got to show up every single day and go to work. And you don't think about all that at the end. If a guy's leaving after a year, if he's staying here for 2 years. The reality is our job at our level is to get a guy to the next level. And if it happens after a year, so be it. We did our job.
36 commits. What's your goal?
Around 40. We need a few more pitchers. We need a catcher. I'd like to have a lefty arm, and I'd like to have a catcher from Eastern North Carolina, just as quick as I can get one.
I know a couple.
Yeah.
I know a couple of them.
Let me ask
one
you,
of them's really close, so we'll talk about that later.
Let me ask you a question, and this kind of goes with every sport. When you look at, like, I know they got Rollins baseball and Raleigh, like different organizations where you got elite talent there. When you look at high school, do you look at the conference and be like, okay, the whole conference is kind of weak, so the stats can be misleading? Do you ever get caught up in that?
Yeah, I do, and I think last year everything went from 4A to 8A, so the conferences are crazy anyway,
right.
And I'm still learning all that. But yes, you do look at that, like you look at strength of schedule, especially when it's in an extreme. I mean,
Right.
If they're 0-19, and you don't want to recruit that guy.
Right, I got you.
Yeah.
I got a question. So I'm big on lifting weights. Every program, no matter what the sport is, you got to be a superb athlete. Being on the JUCO level, you have to be that guy too. You got to be the strength and conditioning coach as well. Am I wrong?
No, I'm in there. I love that part of it. Yes.
Tell me your plan to make sure an athlete is the best athlete for your sport.
Yeah, so what we do is we're in there 3 days a week. We're trying to hit every single body part twice throughout the whole course of the week. And we're not lifting by position, like pitchers over here, position players over here. In the weight room, you're like, if I got if there's a pyramid, the bottom part's and I'm an athlete, the second part is you're a baseball player, and then of least importance in the weight room is what position you play. We're trying to get bigger, faster, stronger in the weight room. I mean, we're pushing weight. We're doing all the Olympic lifts. We're squatting, deadlifting, power cleaning, bench pressing. We're trying to be an athlete in there. So, yeah, we are.
I got a real good question for you. You play for Rabbit Fulton, the all-time legend for Green Central. Rest in peace. Just passed away about a month or two ago. What is one thing that you took away from Coach Fulton that's always going to be carried with you?
Yeah, there's 2 of them. One of them is the saying, do the simple things well. Like, you ain't got to be extra. You don't have to make a web gym. When the ball's hit till you catch it and throw it where you're supposed to throw it. Literally, that's it. And then the second piece is, and this is a Green Central thing, are the 3 standards. Be where you're supposed to be when you're supposed to be there. Do what you're supposed to do when you're supposed to do it. And say what you're supposed to say when you're supposed to say it. And I think that incorporates, if you can do that in every facet of your life, you're going to be a good human being and you're going to get rewarded.
Good deal. So that creates winners. Speaking of winning, what is your goal? What is a winning season for a program that's never had a win? What is a winning season? I don't think it's necessarily 500. What is a winning season for a program that's never had a win?
The program is new. I'm not new to JUCO baseball. I'm not new to Region 10. Yes, I would like to get into that 20-win mark. I'd like to be 500, and then we can start growing there. The reality is we got 36 brand new incoming freshmen. We're going to go through some growing pains, and I'm ready for that. I know what I signed up for, and I've coached JUCO my whole life, and I've literally depended on freshmen my whole life. So I'm excited about it.
That's I'm gonna say something. That's interesting. I was gonna ask you because JUCO is kind of dog eat dog world with 2 years to prove yourself, but the majority of your first class is freshmen, right?
They
so
are.
that's kind of a good foundation to build off of.
Yeah, you try to stay as 50-50 recruiting as you can so that
Right.
you can forecast it. But the reality is you're going to have more freshmen and sophomores
Right.
every year.
Gotcha.
All right, so another good question is another good question is you got these JUCOs, you got them coming in. What's your message to them showing that you've got 100 guys already got to the 4-year level? What's your pitch? What is your? I know I'm giving away your goal, but like you've done it. You've got the guys to the next level. What are you going in and telling these kids?
Well, we don't have here's what I tell them. We don't have the TrackMans, the Rapsodos, all this $1,000 technology stuff. We're just going to compound days. You're going to show up today and get your work in and get better, and you're going to do it tomorrow, and you're going to do it for 3 months straight in the fall. I don't know a drill that not another coach in the world knows. Literally everything that I've ever done, I've stole from another coach and made it my own. So I'm not making anything up. We're just going to get after it.
Chappriel would like this one. What's your advice? What's your opinion on recruiting 3 sports athletes or multi-athletes versus recruiting a kid that only plays baseball?
I love it. I mean, especially from the football route, I noticed that there's more team culture in a football athlete that plays baseball just because they've been through it. They've been through those dog practices, Mondays, Tuesdays,
There's nothing like
Wednesdays.
it.
I
There's
mean,
nothing like
you
it.
don't want to be there. You got a little ant pile right here on the ground. You're getting set up next to literally, and you're hitting guys. And I like that part about it, and I like adding those guys to our program.
Let me ask you another question on baseball. One thing about it, baseball is kind of like golf. You can take the best athlete in the world. When you go through those slumps, I played baseball myself coming up. You got the field, you got to run, you got to do the little stuff when you're going through those slumps. How do you work with that as far as like all these freshmen you got when the guys going through it? It's almost like you got to be a therapist, psychiatrist, everything with the team and stuff, but still keep them locked into what they're doing.
Look, they're going to go through it. Their freshman year, every single thing is going to be the hardest thing that they've ever been through in their life. They're going to be emotional. They're dealing with homesickness. They're dealing with stress from recruiting, academic issues, roommate issues sometimes.
Right.
What happens is they've just got to pay their dues their freshman year. When they come back as a sophomore, it's like the blinders are off. It's like, oh, that conditioning drill that we did, that wasn't that hard that I thought it was.
Right.
Oh, Coach Herring's hollering today? Okay, we're just going to go about our business. So you have to just keep them looking forward and just keep working with them, man. It's a relationship thing. They're going to go through it.
Do you think it's like with younger kids, I'm going to say high schoolers, do you think it makes a difference, the elite level competition they playing in the summertime? Do you think that makes you a better baseball player? Since, he was saying about 3 sports guys. I'm a type person, I don't mind kids playing something year round, you know what I'm saying? But like when you overlap and stuff, but that's the thing where you got to get, to me, like hand-eye coordination, so you got to keep it sharp. But the level you playing on and stuff, and that's what we were saying earlier off camera, Eastern North Carolina has had pitchers go to school, major college and stuff, but there's no hitters around here. Like, and that's would be a good post you put on Neuse Sports. Like, who's the best hitter from Eastern North Carolina? We had talked about Josh Hamilton when I lived in Durham, but that's a long time ago.
Yes, there's some truth to that. Like, if you play better competition, you've seen it, you understand and feel the speed of the game.
Right.
Your internal clock is a little bit quicker because the pace of competition is a little bit quicker. I'm going through this with my daughter right now. We're having to make a decision. We've just done rec ball. We've practiced out there in the yard and the road. Now she's going to the 7th grade. Do we get into travel ball? Do we continue with school ball only? For that reason, to get her in front of better competition. So I'm kind of feeling my way out through that.
And, I think with girls softball, you kind of have to do that with softball. And you can't really judge them the way you do baseball. To me, I look at all sports on TV and stuff, but even like say the pitching aspect of it, drag bunts, everything, like that to me, like the repetition with that, it would be good. But obviously the thing last week was like, it's like the average parent was spending like $20-some thousand a year. And I sat down with doing the math. I was like, well, you getting hotels for the week. And baseball's a little different because you don't have to pay admission everywhere you go. But like, I coach travel track stuff, so I keep my stuff as cheap as possible as you can keep it. But these parents booking motels, going to different states, dragging the family along with it. So I think you have to be smart. Just like I said, you make a business decision, sit down at the table with your family, and and some stuff, like I said, if your daughter got special talent, it's gonna be some stuff we invest in you, bro. You're gonna give us everything you got.
Talk about the softball journey with your daughter. How fun has that been? I know you're just getting to the peak of it, but you also been through some good travel ball days. Oh, you've not played travel ball yet?
No, so she does volleyball and softball, and look, I'm always on the other side of the dugout, so me being a fan is kind of weird. I'm still learning how to do that. I'm a concession stand guy. I just love going to the concession stand because I never get a chance to do it. But look, I kind of like volleyball, man. Being in the gym, I like that culture, and not taking anything away from softball. She does both of them really well, but I'm kind of learning and liking the volleyball scene.
Yeah, I never really enjoyed volleyball until I started, covering sports from this new sports, and I had to actually go to the volleyball games and cover them. It gets down. It gets down. The girls get up, get over the net. There's some special athletes out there as well. Let's move on. Let's go ahead and start talking about it. Is championship week. The NCHSAA. It's time for their state championships in baseball and softball. And I have those matchups right now. Let's talk about it with our first on our softball side. I'm going to run these down right quick. Number 1, Beargrass versus number 1, Robinsonville. Number 1, North Duplin versus number 2, Roxburgh Community. In 3A, number 2, McMichael versus number 2, West Wilkes. In 4A, number 3, Southwestern Randolph. How they got into the East, I don't know. Versus West, number 4, West Stanley. 5A, number 6, West Carteret versus number 4, Inca. 6A, number 1, Union Pines versus South Codwell. 7A, let's go Vikings. D.H. Conley, number 1 seed versus number 1, Weddington. In 8A, number 2, Corinthian Holders versus West Forest. And I'm not done yet. Let's look at the boys' side. On the boys' side, Beargrass Charters in both the boys and girls, but they're facing North Carolina Leadership Academy. Number 2, Rosewood. Shout out to Rosewood. We're pulling for the Eagles hard. They're playing Cherryville, number 1 seed. Number 6, Midway's in 3A East. They're playing number 2, East Rutherford. 4A's number 1, Bunn versus number 2, Burns. 5A, number 6, number 9, Seaforth versus number 1, North Lincoln. 6A, number 2, Southern Lee versus South Codwell. 7A, Holly Springs versus Marvin Ridge. Number 1, Corinthian Holders versus number 1, Providence. All right, with that being said, I got a couple more things to say about that. Sorry. Great matchups. We're going to talk about the matchups. Not really. We're going to talk about matchups, but I got something to talk about. The NCHSAA has placed these games on ridiculous scheduling. We're talking about the number, like, for instance, we're following Rosewood. Rosewood, best out of 3 series. Their first game is at 5 o'clock in Burlington on a Wednesday. If you're working, you're screwed. Their number 2 game is on 11 o'clock in the morning, Thursday, in Burlington. What's y'all's opinion on this? And I know it's split up in 8 different classifications. You got to spread it out. But come on, do better. Do better. Come on.
Yeah, I feel like, to me, your revenue sports are football and basketball. So I think really there's not really revenue with this. So I think that's really the reason they don't really care about the times with it. It's going to be probably like immediate family. They like the school going to get out, the whole school's going to the baseball game, keeping it real. So I think that's probably the biggest driving factor in that. And even like I was looking at college baseball, East Carolina was playing like, I think 11 o'clock the other morning when I was looking at my FanDuel. So I just think baseball on the lower levels don't really get respect for as that goes.
Yeah, it's the lower. You hit it. The key word was the lower levels.
Right.
The lower levels are getting the bad end
right.
of the stick. Coach Herron, you got anything?
Yeah, I do. But I've got background on hosting tournaments, and
right.
So there has to be some communication from the North Carolina High School Athletic Association and the venues that they're hosting at. So obviously there's all these logistical issues that they've got to go through and figure out. I would love to be a fly on the wall to see why the decision was made to hold it at the times that they were, because from a fan experience, it's going to be tough to get off of work. And I mean, you've put your time in throughout the whole course of the year. It's supposed to be big. You kind of think I'm under the lights at Team Stadium, one of them type of deals, and it's not like that. But there's reasons behind it. I would like to know that.
There is a correction. Somehow, I left off Powerhouse Whiteville and put Midway up there instead. Whiteville won that game 2-1, won that series 2-1. Sorry to interrupt you on that. I had to make sure I get that right. Shout out to the Wolfpack on that one. Okay, now it's time. I'm kicking off the chilling co-host, not because he did anything wrong, but I got another special guest to come on the show. 1 second, let's get our guest appearance. Mr. Robbie Boren. Oh.
Did it go? It's the back one.
Just be easy. All right, Mr. Robbie Boren is a Rosewood senior. He is career pitching 25-6, 1.62 ERA, 206 Ks and 199 innings. Got career batting average of 356, 90 runs, 83 hits, 50 RBIs, 52 stolen bases. This year alone, he's 7-1 on the mound, 1.75 ERA, 54 Ks and 52 innings pitched, hitting 382, 18 runs, 11 RBIs. My man, senior Robbie Boren. How you doing, man?
I'm good. How are
You
you?
can move that mic till you get comfortable. Just slide it to you a little bit. First off, congratulations on a great career. It's not over. You got 3. You got maybe 2 games left, maybe 3. Congratulations. Are you feeling the road coming to an end? Ain't thought about that yet?
Not really.
Whether you win or lose, it's coming to an end. You don't have no more eligibility for high school baseball after this.
Yep.
It's gonna hit you. It's gonna hit you. Go out there and play your butt off, man. We're pulling for you. You're gonna do great. Talk about the journey. Talk about the team. What you got to say?
I mean, the journey over the last 4 years has been really fun. I mean, the most fun I've ever had was these 4 years of high school baseball. A lot of ups, a lot of downs. More ups, thankfully. I think we've had a winning season every year I've been in high school. Deep playoff runs just about every year. And, like, our team, the seniors, everybody, they're like my family. All of them are just my best friends. There's nobody I'd rather play with every day. Like, today we went to practice. It wasn't the ideal practice, what you would think whenever you have a state championship in 2 days. But, I mean, we went there, we worked hard, and, I mean, we got to make the best of the last we have, since we only have one more.
Talk about this team, and you kind of just talked about them right then, but talk about this team. How special is this team? Talk about this team coming into this year. You knew what you had coming into this year. You know you've been a winner every single year, and now you got your guys on their last run, 9 seniors, a couple of juniors that's put in work as well. Even got freshmen in there. Talk about the team. Talk about coming into the season. What was y'all's goals coming into the season, and was it a realistic goal for you the whole time? Did you know this was realistic?
Coming in this year, we had high hopes for what we thought we would do this year, knowing we had 7 seniors return from our team last year. Then we had two dudes who transferred in, one from Southern Wayne, Caden Henson, who's played really well for us this year. But I mean, we knew what we were getting into. We knew this was it, and we had to show up every day and try to make it as deep as possible. Some goals we've had: 20-win season. We got that one.
Mark.
Make it past the 4th round, because I mean that's kind of been like our stump. We couldn't get past it. Got past it. Make it to the state championship. We've made that. Now we have one more to win the state championship, and hopefully we can complete that goal too.
Let's give some love to Coach King. He seems like a great guy to play for.
Yeah, he is.
Let's talk about tell me some stuff that we don't know about him. Tell me about the guy, the dude, your friend, I'm your mentor. Tell me about Coach King.
I really love Coach King. He's one of the best coaches I've ever played for. He's my weightlifting coach this entire school year, and every day we're in the weight room, and he's pretty much, especially on max days, screaming at you to, on a squat, get down. and then he doesn't count it if you don't go all the way
I
down.
love it.
That sounds familiar.
I mean, but like just playing for him, it's been a lot of fun. No shade to like Coach Whitfield. I've had a lot of fun playing under him too, because this is just Coach King's first year, like my first year playing for Coach King. I had a lot of fun playing for Coach Whitfield as well, but Coach King, like when I got hurt, he took a lot of care for me, and like in the weight room the last week, he had me on a yoga mat doing a bunch of like rehab stretches instead of me actually squatting, because he's not letting me squat anymore, at least for a little bit. But yeah, playing for him's been a lot of fun.
So it sounds like his coaching never turns off.
No,
it's
never.
24/7.
All the time.
I'm gonna always give shout out to guys I know. Justin Lee, he's a Greene County native. I know his brother real well. I know Justin real well. Coach Lee, I'm sorry. Talk about Coach Lee and how big is he to your development?
I love Coach Lee too. He's been really big, pushing us every day. His favorite saying is that we're soft. Actually, we lost one game this year, and he told us we were soft as melted butter. That was what he told us. And today we were doing outfield stuff, and every time we dropped the ball, hit the ground, do push-ups. I think we did over 150 today, just because I guess we just weren't completely locked in like we should have been. So he made us pay, and we did a whole bunch of push-ups today. And but like you make a mistake, he'll tell you like brush it off. But if it's like a mental one, he'll be like, dude, get it together. I don't know what you're doing. And then it's on you to fix it, because he's not going to tell you more than once or twice. Because, I mean, if you're not going to figure it out, they'll just replace you, and they'll put someone else out there. But playing for Coach Lee has been fun as well.
You got any questions? Before I keep
No, I look
Yeah, we
very
good.
mature to hear him
Yes,
talk
absolutely.
about that. And the fact that he's talking about Coach King and then brought up Coach Whitfield, man, that's good character right there.
Good deal. Regular season only. What was the most memorable win this season?
Yeah,
Yeah, a lot of them.
regular season, our closest game was probably that game at Princeton, where we won 4-3. We only scored in one inning, and we scored 4 runs, and luckily that was just enough. But like, they never give up. We never give up. I mean, playing them is always fun. Like, crosstown rival, 5 minutes down the road. Another one that was fun though was South Lenore.
Yeah.
At Granger. That game was a lot of fun. Started off rough. I think we were down 1-0 or 2-0 or something, and then we scored 9 unanswered. And that game was a lot of fun. When we went to Green Central, that game
Chill
was
out.
a lot of
You
fun
got to
too.
chill out. I was waiting for you to bring this up. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, that game was a lot of fun too.
Y'all play good, man.
Yeah. Basically, all the teams you like to cover are the ones we
Yeah, there
play
you
the
go.
best against.
Hey, Trey Scott's gonna be at this one. Let's whoop him. No, much respect. I definitely love following you guys. One thing I learned about y'all's team is y'all can put up numbers fast.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about your hitters. Give me, and somebody's gonna be mad, and it's okay. Give me your top 3 hitters on the team, and you can't include yourself.
All right. Well, I wouldn't have probably included myself to begin with, anyways. Jacob Bond, 100%. He's batting like 470 this year. I don't know what happened to him, because like last year it was probably like sub 300, and then this year he's just turned it on. He's really locked in. This year, another dude who's really stepped it up was about where he was last year, Braxton Waters. He's also batting over 400 for us this year. He's doing really well. Then third, I would give it to Jack Adams. He's also a really good hitter. All of them go to school, go to practice every day. They hit outside of practice every day. Really like perfecting their craft. Like our last game before we went to Perquimans for game 2, Jacob, and his dad were hitting 20 minutes before we were supposed to get on the bus and leave. Like Jacob, and thankfully his dad Jeremy cares a lot about us and our development and how we are. So he commutes from Florida all the time to come watch us and help us get better. But like, we hit for probably 45 minutes before we left that day, and Jacob, this was the day after Jacob hit a bomb, and he still told Jacob there's something wrong.
Yeah.
After he went 5 for 5.
Perfectionist.
Yeah. But yeah.
Good deal. All right, so for everybody who don't know, this is the first episode of the show. I don't have my batteries in yet, but this is my BS meter. You ain't said nothing there. You ain't said. Every time I hit it, that's when I say BS. Let me set this up first. Perquimans, game 2. After Perquimans done put up 19 runs in the first game, but y'all won.
Yeah.
Pretty much it's tied up, I believe, 6-6. And you bring in a freshman in the playoffs in the fifth round, Eastern Regional Finals, and I did an interview with your whole team, and I asked every single person, even the coach, were you nervous when this kid came up? Every single one of them said no. Ain't no way. Y'all had to be nervous a little bit. A little bit. Hey, don't take nothing from that. I'm being lighthearted with it. I'm just playing. What has he done to give you that confidence in somebody like that? When you got 9 guys on the team that you've seen for 4 years, this kid, you've seen him for 3 months.
Well, when I got hurt, they pulled
Connor
him up.
Smith, I believe, right?
Yeah, Connor Smith. So they pulled him up whenever I hurt my leg, and he threw against Clayton in 7A. And I don't know if he gave up a run. Maybe one in like 3 innings. And we were like, oh, hold on. Wait a second. Hold on.
Right.
And then he didn't throw for a while, but he was throwing bullpens. And then game 2, and they're like, well, after game 1, they're like, Connor, go throw a bullpen. You might throw tomorrow. And we're like, whoa, Connor's gonna throw tomorrow? Okay, hold on. And then Ed shoved per usual.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah,
he might have gave up a few runs, but I mean, I still think he.
Shout out to Perquimans.
Yeah, I mean they're good. They can hit. Yeah. And they put Connor in. Everybody knew he was going to do good on our team. Yeah, they might have lied to you a little bit by saying they weren't nervous. I think everybody was a little nervous, but there was a lot more confidence than nervousness whenever they put him on the mound. And as you can see, it worked in our favor. He might have gave up maybe 2, maybe 3.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, because they put him in 6-6, and they only scored 2 off of him.
Getting the double play out on the run down to third as
big.
A freshman. Yeah,
that was
just big moves. And honestly, it don't matter. It don't matter who was put in that situation at the time. We're going to be nervous. Mm-hmm. And not necessarily not confident, but going to be nervous. It was a big situation. It was a big situation to go to the state championship. So with that being said, no shade to you, Connor. I know I brought this up a lot. Shout out to you, man. Great job. Let's get a couple more details about you. Game 1, Wednesday. Bus ride there. What's in the headphones?
Game 1 or game 2?
Game 1. It's a state championship
the state
game.
Championship?
What's your pregame music?
I really don't even listen to music on the way to games. I really just talk to my teammates and friends. On the way to Perquimans, we had 2-3 turtle boxes on top of the bus, though, because you know how they're magnets. They were up there, and they were just playing really every genre you can think of. We were pumped up, and then got there, and I mean, we handled business. But I mean, I don't really put headphones in and just listen to music and lock in. Normally, I just kind of I'm just we got a game today. I just flip a switch.
Who's It seems like everybody's level-headed on the team. It seems like everybody's very mature, very level-headed. But there's got to be one crazy guy. Is there one guy that y'all lean on for energy, or you just know he's going to be always going to be on?
Coach Lee.
I love it. I love it. That's a great answer. Going into the state championship is your first state championship ever. I'm assuming you played travel ball your whole life.
I did, yes, sir.
Going back from T-ball to travel ball, this is your moment. How happy, how proud, what are your feelings right now?
I'm proud of my team and teammates, my guys, our coaches for helping us get there, us to be able to perform. It's a little nerve-wracking knowing it's all coming down to the end. But, I mean, we're just locked in, ready to go. I mean, we've all been playing baseball together since we were little kids. We've all been playing baseball in general since we were little kids. Played in big games, like the 4th round, 2 of my 4 years. Well, now 3. We've played in big games. We've won big games. I don't think, really, this game is going to be any different than a big game we've already played in. So there's no point in making this game a lot bigger than it is. I mean, yeah, it's the state championship, but it's the same game we've played since we were 4 years old. So, I mean, there's no reason to get nervous and make the game bigger than it should be.
Good deal. Hey, look, man, we're pulling for you. I'm going to cover you like I'm supposed to, unbiasedly, but I'm a fan. I'm a fan second, but I'm going to be a reporter first. I'm pulling for you. I'm super proud of you. I don't got the camera on. Got to see me talking. Super proud of you. Go get it. Go get it with the guys. Just know how hard you work for this when you step onto that field. Great to have you. I'm kicking you off sets so you can go to sleep and go to school tomorrow. I appreciate you coming, man.
Thank you.
Good deal. Got Mr. Chappriel Pitt back on the set.
Hey, let me sit down easy.
All right, we're about to get into one of our topics of the night, and we got this segment brought to you by Stephen Jones, Good Life Financial Advisory. Let's see if I can put that up without looking. That's good. That's not supposed to come up. All right, so now let's go into Pitt County baseball. Blake, Chappriel, Pitt County baseball going into this season. Sorry about that. 1 second. Pitt County baseball going into the playoffs had 3 number 1 seeds and 1 number 2 seeds. D.H. Conley, J.H. Rose, South Central, and Aiden Griffin were all elite top tier. Is this a baseball factory? Start with you, Blake.
Man, I think it is. And I know every one of those coaches. I have personal relationships with them. They're great baseball people, great human beings. And it's, for me, I'm pulling for every single one of them. It is, and I don't know what it is. I guess it starts from the Little League program. It starts from down. I mean, you look at the 2 schools over in the western part of the state, Cherryville and East Rutherford. They're kind of in that area. There's a culture of baseball. It goes deeper than just the people that are playing on those teams right now. There's a standard of excellence they got to live up to, and I think they grow up in this area knowing that.
Well, considering that, what makes, and I think you hit it on the head with Little League, but another thing I think, one reason they're great, and one reason that I think Goldsboro's going to get better, Wayne County's going to get better, is places like Next Level. The Next Level training facility gives you 10 cages to hit at. You got turf to be able to go in there and do ground balls. You got trainers like Ben Cox. Is it Fox? Fox, ain't it? Ben Fox. Ben Fox teaching how to pitch. You got all these trainers. I remember the kid, the center fielder from UNC, Ben Bunton. Is that right?
That sounds right.
He was there training one time. I'm sure there's all types of guys there training, but they have a training facility that is utilized and everybody goes there. When my son was growing up, that's where we went. We went to go get to work. So you got that there, and you got a community that loves baseball, then mixed in with the Little League. How much does Next Level have to do with the success of Pitt County?
That's a factor in it. When you take the excuses away from the player, it's not too cold, it's not too rainy, it's not too dark, you can get your work in. Yes, that's a factor in terms of reps and all that. Oh yeah, you called it. I mean, there's so many different things that go into it, but yes, that's one of them.
How big is travel ball into success in Pitt County? You know, don't get me wrong, I know travel ball is everywhere, and I can't speak for Western North Carolina. I can't speak for, the Piedmont area, but what I can speak for is Snow Hill. We got travel ball tournaments every single weekend.
But if you think about it too, you can almost trace, even like Kinston, all sports success, everything is grassroots. By the time these kids get to the high school, the coach is basically just keeping the kids in shape. So, but like when we came up, man, I was outside 10 hours a day, 7 days a week. So the coach just had to refine us. Now you got the average kid who do something for like 3 hours a week, think they should be a superstar. But the kids in those facilities that you named, they're putting that extra work in. They're getting professional help. They learn how to throw all the pitches at young ages, which could be good and bad in some instances. But they're putting that extra work in. And it's just like, for instance, in Kinston, this your Holloway team, I think they won the recreations thing, but normally, Holloway doesn't have a lot of baseball consistent. And that's the reason why I say Kinston High School baseball program suffers. But if those kids stay together, you can see immediate change with Kinston High School's baseball. And Greene County is tennis and baseball. And that's what dominates things. So you can look at every area and trace back to the success, the pipeline that's going. But in a lot of these areas too, if a team got 2 dominant pitchers, the kids in the field are not getting a lot of balls hit to them, the rest of the stuff. So there's a lot of stuff going to it. But I always say after you get past Smithfield, you know what you're made out of. I don't care what sport you're playing. Because you're gonna run up on something to see what you're made out of. And I think you mentioned those teams, but none of them are alive right now in baseball.
All right, Blake, I totally agree with you. It's all in the grassroots, and by the time they get to where they're at,
It's second nature.
it's play ball. How long has Pitt County been a dominant baseball?
Man, well, I'm 40. I was growing in the
40?
early 2000s. There was everybody. I mean, I can remember back in the day, RV's been there, 52 years, and you can just trace it back.
Well, all right, so with high success, let me bring up this clip for you, this picture. With high success brings high expectations. And as you see on the screen, Aiden Griffin went 23-3, number 1 seed in 3A. J.H. Rose, number 1 seed in 6A, went 20-6. 7A's number 1 seed, D.H. Conley, 23-3. 7A, number 2 seed, 20-6. And out of all them losses, 6 of the losses came from each other. So, my question is, none of them made the Eastern Regional Finals. They all made it to the 3rd, 4th round. I think they might have all made it to the 4th round. But none of them got past the 4th round despite being number 1, number 2 seeds. Is this a disappointing season? But you got high standards. Let's keep it real. If we're going to cherish them and say, hey, you're so good, you're so good, you're so good, is 4th round a disappointment, or is it an accomplishment, or is it dog eat dog? How do you judge that based off we know how good they are?
Well, going in as a 1 and 2 seed, there is an expectation. And I know those coaches, they expected to win, they wanted to win. But look, in reality, when you get to a certain level, there is a little bit of chance. And I don't want to say luck because everything is earned. But, I mean, the ball can go either way. And there's so many different factors in high school baseball from, just stresses from off the field, relationship issues, academics. You never know what team is going to show up every single day sometimes at that age. And, yes, those guys are disappointed, but, man, I don't think we can look down in negative. They had great years.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm telling you, another thing I feel like, too, is when your non-conference schedule, I don't care what sport it is, it don't take a lot of money. Go play somebody that's an alpha to really see what you're made out of. At least one game, early in the year. Go to, like I said, Raleigh. Somewhere, play a team that got a reputation so you really can see what you're made out of. Because like you said, if those teams lost to each other, then the rest of the teams could have been garbage. Keeping it a buck.
No, I'm with you. Here's my take with it. 4th round is a accomplishment. That's good. Despite that being first, number 1 seed, home playoff games every time. But I always going to revert back to what I know and what I've seen. And what I've seen was a 2024 state championship team in 2A was Green Central High School. What I seen was we went through the 4th rounds. We were okay. We won. Barely, but we won. We got to midway, the best out of 3 series. No, I'm sorry, Whiteville, best out of 3 series. We lost game 1. So if that would have been round 3 or round 4, Green Central would have never won either. So that win or go home situation, hey man, it's anybody. They're in the playoffs for a reason. If you're in the 4th round, you're in the 4th round because you're really good.
Most definitely.
One loss can just set the whole season off.
And that's why I said too about having a dominant pitcher, like those games, those do or die games. Most of the time, those pitchers are pitching the whole game, and they're going to lay it down normally. You know what I'm saying? So that's good. But like you said, when you get to the 3-game series, if that other team throw their ace out there game 1, and you can still 2 and 3, even though he might come back and pitch part of those games, that makes a difference with the depth of your team.
Good deal.
Baseball. Some of that is baseball, and it can go like Wake Tech right now. I think they finished 3rd in the west side of Region 10, went on a tear at the end of the year, won the Region 10. They're in the World Series right now. I mean, baseball, crazy things happen. I'm not saying they earned it. I'm not saying they're crazy, but it ain't always that front runner that makes it in our game.
They get hot at the right time.
Yeah.
Get hot at the right time. You just win the right game. One bad inning, one couple bad errors can. Because baseball is a game. I know they say football is the game of inches, but baseball is too. One wrong mistake
Most definitely
can start a run.
Like my team in the major league, I love the Yankees. Like when they got their staff, and same thing with Pittsburgh. What's their ace? Is it Skeens or whatever his name? I say those guys are losing streak stoppers. So most of the time they're not going to go on the fork and lose because those guys will come up and handle business. And the same thing, like I would say, with high school baseball. But I can say the grassroots, people spend money, they get that extra coaching and stuff. But like I said, old school, never. It's not broke, don't fix it.
All right, it's time to move on to our top 5 segment. Blake Herron, I'm going to give this to you, sir. I hope your handwriting's better than mine. I'm going to let you do the first ever top 5 segment. This segment is brought to you by El Nuevo San Juan Mexican Restaurant in Kinston. Thank you guys for all you do. We appreciate all of our sponsors. Couldn't do it without you. Always shout out to Tiebreakers and Caroline Medical Transport. Oh, it's time. It's time to break out the bad boy. Here we go. Here we go. Trey's top 5 Pitt County baseball players in the past 20 years. Oh. Blake Herron, you got the mic. I got some names written down. Let's see what you got. Well, we kind of sat together. If you have to move your mic, that's fine.
Yeah, I'll move around.
Matter of fact, let me see. Let me see this. Pitt County baseball. Let's do in the past 25 years. Let's name. Do we got some guys? Number 5. Let's see how many names we got.
I got a few on the top of my head. I don't know if I'm ready to like put them down as a number, but I played against and with some really good ball players.
All right. Well, where are we starting at? Who's some guys that? Let's name all the ball players that you got on your head right now. Some of the best names that come up from Pitt County. Who's some guys that you think should be on this list?
2 big leaguers off the top of my head. One North Pitt, Greg Briley. He went to Lewisburg after high school. Good career. The other big leaguer, Alex White from Conley. And I may have this wrong. Thinking back, he was kind of that first pitcher that kind of solidified Conley as like a pitching factory. I mean, great pitchers everywhere in the county, but that's just how I remember it.
We got Matthew Mateus.
I love watching him. Current player at UNC. I like watching him pitch, man. He competes his butt off on the mound.
You talk about 2 guys from Rose that you played against.
So back in my day, there was a catcher named David Forbes, and I'm pretty sure he won a state championship when he was there. Catcher, went to Campbell for 3 years, went back to East Carolina, was my teammate for a year. He was my catcher, and, man, seeing him hit balls off of that natatorium and our hitting facility at Campbell was a different world, and the carry he had behind the baseball. That same team, I'm pretty sure Mike Fly, right-handed pitcher, went to East Carolina. There's 3 pitches in my career that I remember. He threw me a 2-seam over at Guy Smith Stadium one night, and I think the Easter tournament, and I can still picture it to this day, how it just turned into my hand so late and so quick. That was different. Meatball North Pitt, Demetrius Heath.
North Pitt.
Another Lewisburg guy. Let's see now.
Danny Sadler.
Danny Sadler's my guy too.
Before. He gave me these names before. I just knew it was going to be hard to remember.
All right, so Sadler, he was the MVP of the state championship. I think in maybe 2017. I coached him and recruited him at Lewisburg. Went to Maryland Eastern Shore. Is now a deputy sheriff here in Pitt County.
Wow,
so
nice.
And where did Chisenhall go to high school?
He was at West Carteret High School, and then went to I think South Carolina, and then Pitt, and then
okay.
Long career. And
Man, we on Pitt County, man.
I know he played in Pitt County College, but
he got a top 5 to put together. You got to keep them, man. You distracting them.
I think I'm ready to write a couple down.
All right, here's your group. We got Greg Briley, Alex White, Matthew Mateus, David Forbes, Mike Fly, Demetrius Heath, Danny Sadler. I'm sure there's 5 guys that we done forgot. So
there's literally so many that I've recruited and coached and seen, and I'm sorry.
And let us know in the comments who we missed. Who should be on this board, and tell us how wrong Blake Herron is. Are you going with number 1 first? Yeah. You going number 1 first? You don't.
Right at the gate. Man, there's so many too.
Alex White, number 1. Greg Briley, number 2. Number 3, David Forbes. Oh, my man, they hit the knee.
This is my guy, man. MVP and wild card. I'm gonna go. Who are the other couple?
We got Heath, we got Sadler, we got Mike Fly, Forbes, Mateus. Meatball, North Pitt.
That's mine.
I'll tell you that. Hey, this is your Pitt County top 5 baseball players in the last 25 years. Let us know in the comments what you think. Like I said, I'm sure we forgot 20 guys. But this is what we got. Let us know in the comments who we missed and who we should have had at number 1 or who should be at number 5. I'm moving this.
Literally, that was some pressure. I'm here sweating now. Look, calling a hit and run and a steal's easy.
Right.
That's a lot of many guys.
Good luck when you go back to Pitt County.
Yeah.
Get a phone call tonight.
All right, so about to move on a little bit more. This segment is brought to you by Kristen Goyette with Success Mortgage Partners, and I'm about to get to another high school segment where one of the track athletes at Mallard Creek got DQ'd in the state championship. I'm going to put it on the screen, but I'm also going to talk you guys through it and let you guys know what happened and how it happened. 1 second. So, Mallard Creek.
35 seconds for Nine Brown.
So Mallard Creek was in the state championship this past week.
Now, we know that's already a meet record.
This kid got a warning, so-called.
35,
they said he never got a warning, but if you see him, he just ran the 300 hurdles. I want to see if we can watch that again. He ran the 300 hurdles and won and set the meet
35
record.
seconds for Nine Brown.
Obviously, he is
That
super
is
pumped. Who wouldn't
Now,
be? They said
we
he got
know
warned
that's
after
already
this.
a meet record.
Then the next video is the 4x4 state championship meet. He is coming down the stretch to win it for his team. This is his celebration. Immediately got DQ'd. The whole team got DQ'd, and that's the end of his
And that race also they would have won a state championship as a team.
So, like Chappriel said, that last race was the 4x4 race. He was the anchor leg. And if they win that race, they win the whole team as a state championship. So he crosses and he holds his hands up. What's the problem? This is the only time he didn't go to a player and said, you lost, get some.
Right.
This man have worked 4 years in amazing accomplishment. To state record, state championship on the highest level. What's y'all's opinion on this?
My opinion on it is, a lot of people gonna say, well, the rules are the rules. People say that. To me, like I said, and these rules really came into effect with LSU was running in college, and they'll start staring guys down in their face and get into your face, and you can get a volatile moment there. So they made those rules trickle down because high schoolers start doing copycat stuff with it. But each thing he did, you got about 10 cameras right in front of those guys. You don't see that on the video. Filming these guys. Even like when we go to Virginia Beach, they got a plexiglass thing where you run up there and sign your autograph on it, on the camera in front of it. He didn't do anything to show anybody up. He didn't turn his head whatsoever. And I tell people, out of all the sports you play, track and field is a sport. Like I said, you got to open your chest up and perform. The time is the time.
Yep.
And if I won a state championship, and I'm probably one of the most enthusiastic coaches that you can find. If I do all that work and stuff, and I run through, I'm not going to run across the finish line and just run up in the stands and go crazy. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think he did anything wrong, and I'm glad to see his school is standing behind him, and the county standing behind him for their appealing the thing to him. And what makes it even worse is you got 3 other runners. There's one girl. I mean, she's white. If you don't know, it don't make a difference. But still, she did almost the exact same similar. She won a state championship that he did. You had 2 guys running down with their hands up. You know, just like how somebody kicking a field goal. And neither one of them got DQ. His coach said that he didn't get a warning early after he won the state championship for hurdles. So I think like this: you got to let a kid be a kid. Now, if he turned and got in somebody's face, hey, I'm all for him getting DQ'd for it. But what he did, and for the amount of work he put into it, it doesn't make any sense. And it's just like if somebody make a buzzer beater shot in basketball, everybody going crazy in the crowd, are you going to take the 3 points off? Right. And that's more dangerous. You know what I'm saying? You got people rushing the floor. The other team can't get out safely. So that would be the equivalent of the same thing as you hitting the buzzer beater. He crossing the line with his hands up, celebrating his accomplishment. So I think it's dead wrong. And I think it's going to get overturned. I
know you got something to say, but I want to hit my BS meter on this. Not from nothing you said, but from everything from the NCSSAA. It's bullcrap. The kid earned it. The kid performed. He showed himself up. When you go and compete in a sport where it's you versus you, and what you do on that track and field at practice is what you're going to get on that track and field when you go and compete. And you go out there and you break records that nobody has never touched. In that anchor leg, he ran a 47.8. That's not a record, but if you know anything about track, that's insane.
Exactly.
I don't know his whole story. I know he's a D1 college athlete, but this is BS. Blake. Coach Blake, talk to me. Tell me I'm wrong.
I hate it for Mallard Creek. I hate it for the player. You just got to know that when the officials or the North Carolina, whoever made the decision, there had to be some conversations leading into it that if this happens, we are going to do this. We're going to discipline it this way. I don't know if there's a backstory with Mallard Creek or this track guy. Had they got warned before? I think, and also from a standpoint, I'm trying to give them the benefit of the doubt a little bit where, man, if I make this decision, this is the backlash that I'm going to get. I better have a pretty good reason to do this to this track runner. And that's I just want to be privy to the inside conversations. There's also not another human being involved. He did nothing disrespectful
that's the biggest part.
To the face of another human. I do think it was harsh. There's some backstory though.
We got to understand these are 17-year-old kids with no helmet on. Yeah. You know, they're on the camera. They're not, football field. You might be 100 yards from seeing them. You can get away with a little bit of stuff in football.
It's almost like an unwritten rule too. Like as an official, don't make yourself part of the storyline.
That's right.
Now, if it's something that's egregious, hey, by all means, call it. But don't make yourself part of the storyline. And that's a perfect example. Like I said, and whatever credence or whatever they had to stand on with it, when you see those other 3 athletes basically doing what he did or worse, and you didn't say anything to them, to me, you don't have any ground to stand on for the state level. Now, after this year, hey, you can get back into the thing and rework how the rule is. But to me, you got to give that team and give that kid his just dues.
Yeah, there's no doubt. He's a winner, and he deserves that. And the whole team deserves it, too.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to our next segment. Here's a good one. I didn't prepare y'all for this one. I prepared y'all for most of them. College topic. Everybody knows UNC basketball has recently hired a new head coach in Mike Malone. I think it's a great hire. I think they got the right guy, great credentials. I don't know how too many guys they could have got that would have had better credentials than him. However, with Mike Malone, they went outside of the family. Carolina basketball has always been about hiring within the family. Jerry Stackhouse put in his application for the job. He didn't even get an interview. This past week, he was on the Jim Rome show, and he expressed his concerns. Let me show you what he said. Being a part of the family, then not to have an opportunity to talk about it, I think that was the most disappointing thing for me. They were like, we're not going to interview you. I feel like I have a resume that can stand up to anybody. I've won Coach of the Year in the SEC. I had a team that finished 4th in the SEC when we weren't even participating in the NFL. I whooped all their A words. Moving on to the next second half of the conversation. So I feel like just from an X and O standpoint, being able to develop guys that didn't get all their 4 stars, 5 stars, but we developed them and they became all league players. Scottie Pippen's a pro. Aaron Naismith is a pro. These guys are the guys I helped to develop while they were there. Saban Lee. So I think those are the things that were disappointing, that I didn't get a chance to at least state my case for why we shouldn't have to go outside of the family. All right, guys, what's your opinion on this one? We're talking about a baseball coach, track coach, and just a regular old guy that talks sports. What's our opinion on Stackhouse not even getting an interview?
I'll get this out of the way. In terms of Stackhouse, you never want to be hired just because you're an alum. You want your resume. You want people to want you. Like, yes, being alumni is a factor somewhere along the way. You're in the family, but you don't want that to be the sole reason. You don't want that on you. I like the hire early on, and I'm not taking anything away from Jerry Stackhouse. I think there's that level of understanding at the pro level, which the college game is going more towards. There's that general manager model, but then you can't take those away. He's done it in the SEC, which arguably rivals are better than the ACC in most sports. And I think he does have an argument. And I just wonder, at each institution has different ways that they go about it. Sometimes the AD is going to make the sole decision. Sometimes there's committees. I wonder who was the decision makers along that process. Was it Bubba Cunningham only? Was it a committee? Was it the president? Like, who was inside of that? I think that's where you kind of got to go to figure the answer out.
Chappriel, give me a second. I wanted to throw this up. I want to get a little talk in before I got his resume up. And I got his resume right here, putting it on the screen.
Okay.
He was the G League coach from 2016 to 2018. He won the Coach of the Year in 2017. For Vanderbilt, he had a 70-92 record. They did have a rebuild. He was the 2023 SEC Coach of the Year, the most wins by a Vanderbilt team since 2011, the NBA assistant coach for the Raptors, Grizzlies, and Warriors. Was this enough? Was this resume enough on top of the family? Which Blake got a great point. You don't just make it because of the family, obviously.
No, you don't do it because of the family. And I'm gonna tell you, it's 2 ways I look at this. Like, you don't hardly have any dinosaur blue blood coaches left anymore, like Izzo and Patino, whatever. The game has changed now where, and I've been a Carolina fan my whole life. My whole family has too. So I know Jerry. The thing what it is, I feel like Jerry should have been Carolina's coach before Hubert Davis.
I agree.
And Hubert, his in-game decisions, substitute pattern, all this was in question. And you've seen what Jerry handled that immaculate. But now I think Carolina base is like, we cannot be looking at it as a second-class citizen anymore. So I think that was a driving force. Is like, we got to get change here, screw everything else, because when we're not mentioned with Duke and Kentucky and everything else, it had to be a drastic change. So, and I feel like Jerry, he's a tough guy. He's going to hold accountability with young guys. All the stuff that Jerry stands for, he definitely should have been interviewed, no doubt about it. But like I said, the way stuff is going now, your general manager and whoever is more important than the coach now. And if you think about even with Malone, the amount of time he spent in Europe the last 3 weeks, phenomenal. And you don't know how other people handle that. But I feel like just Jerry should have been Carolina's coach for Hubert Davis. If it's just X's and O's and stuff, he has a point. He should have been the coach because he's handled all situations. He's a tough, hard-nosed coach, and he played that way at Carolina and stuff. So I understand what he's thinking, but I think it's a 2-way street on it.
Well, here's my 2 cents on it. Here's my 2 cents. And I'm going to be a little bit of homer with this one. I'll go ahead and throw the cat out of the bag. I am a Tar Heel fan, die hard. I'm going to try to keep it unbiased as possible up here so we can connect with all our fans. It's about respect. This is a SEC Coach of the Year. This is a G League Coach of the Year. This is a 3 different team assistant coach who's got high praise, especially for the Warriors. Got high praise. He is so with those 3 things I just named, he is a successful coach. Not only that, he was a very successful Carolina basketball player. Just out of respect, of the coaching resume and the family, you give them an interview. Right. Look, I understand you got to get the home run higher. This is not I'm gonna coddle you just because I don't want to hurt your feelings. This is not what I'm talking about. Out of respect of what that man has done for your program and his own career, an interview would have been suffice. Yeah. An interview would have been enough. He has the resume, in my opinion, to at least get an interview. You never know where that leads. That might lead him to your next head coach up as the man beside Malone. You never know where that leads. Right. I personally think it was disrespectful. I'm with Stackhouse on this. Hills dropped the ball.
Yeah, and another thing too with Jerry, where he checks the box, so a lot of coaches don't. He ran a successful AAU program, so he knows basically every level of basketball. He succeeded on every level. He had Team Stackhouse. He's been cutting edge. I remember when he flew his team into Kinston, brought professional trainers in, everything for him. Like I say, he won in the G League with Toronto Raptors stuff. And people don't understand, Vanderbilt doesn't. I don't think they really have an athletic department, do they? At Vanderbilt, that's one of like the not sexy jobs in the SEC coaches. So for him to win, like I said, win that produce. Yeah. But like I said, the Carolina Nation is just like, you know what I'm saying? It was like we got to do something different. And I feel like he got judged more off Hubert and other stuff going on than actually who Jerry is. But I feel like he definitely should have got an interview.
Blake, anything before I move on?
No, I didn't even realize that he had that much NBA experience until you read it off.
Yeah.
At one time, I thought he was going to be hired as Toronto Raptors coach. I might be tripping on that. I might be a little off. I think at one time he had a chance to get the Raptors coach.
And he's right there with Steve Kerr now on Steve Kerr's bench. So he's been around some of the greatest minds and hit every level.
All right, moving on. I put this segment towards the end because it's my favorite segment. It's not the very end segment, but my favorite segment. I love the WNBA. Any way I can push those girls, I will. I don't care who turns it off right now. Hey, if you're not watching the WNBA, you're missing out on great basketball right now. I wouldn't have said that 2 or 3 years ago. But right now, I'm telling you, I watch the WNBA more than any other sport. Chappriel, I've talked to you a lot about it. Blake, we ain't never talked about it, so I don't know how much you know. So if you don't, it's okay. Right now, what's the state of the WNBA in your opinion, Chappriel?
To me, it's in a great place, and like I say, I've been watching WNBA since the Houston Comets, the first season when they four-peated, when you had Cynthia Cooper, Cheryl Swoops, all those guys. And it's just like with Magic Johnson and Bird. Now you have your favorite player, Caitlin Clark, Angela Reese. They galvanized the nation to come together and put the spotlight on to bring. And then I'm saying hypothetically, when Juju Watkins come in next year, she'll probably be the equivalent of Jordan.
Right.
So it's definitely changed over the past couple years. And the sad part about it is when they try to say they weren't really making money, but when they open the books up, that's how all this explosion of cash has come through. They actually making money. Because who's actually going to buy a business and keep staying there if you're not making money? So they got a lot of money. It's changed, and you're seeing more girls doing it. And I'm going to let you go finish, because I know you're going to add some more to it. Then I got to add something about the financial part of it.
Oh, yeah. So let's look at the growth. Right now, the growth. 2023, 500,000 viewership. 2 years later, they're at 1.3 million. And their openers right now are around 2.5 million on viewership. Attendance has more than doubled. Average attendance have went from 6,000 to almost 12 to 14,000. League revenue went from 100 million to 200, 300 million to projected 500 million this year. The merch sales has gone nothing but up. And with those numbers, they argued a CBA deal, and they got a new CBA deal. Now the girls are getting paid more. And let's look at that. The pay jump, the average salary went from $120K, that's insane, to $500,000 to 600,000 plus. That's a 300 to 400% increase. The minimum salary was $66K. Minimum salary now is around $300,000. Maximum salary was $250K. Now they can make up to $1.4 million. The team salary cap was $1.5 million. Now it's $7 million. Here's some examples at the bottom. Caitlin Clark went from $85,000 to $500,000. Asia Wilson went from $200,000 to $1.4 million, and the rookies went up as well. Take that off. So I absolutely think they deserved it. I absolutely do. I think they deserved it. I think they're growing, and as they're growing, they should be paid $66,000 in today's society in Eastern North Carolina. I'm not even talking about in Charlotte, Raleigh. Barely gets you by, respectfully. It's and that we're talking about professional players making the same money that the people around here do. Yeah. Doing regular jobs. No disrespect to nobody making $66,000.
Yeah. And if you shave the top tier off, the majority of them had to scoot overseas as soon as the season get over. That's why
right.
They played the time of year they do to make money. And they make way more money overseas than they were making before they did this collective bargaining.
Shout out to Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, because my opinion, man, the WNBA people are going to get on me about this. In my opinion, this growth is attached to that rivalry. Yeah. It's attached to that rivalry. Were they still growing with or without them? Yes, but they don't make this jump without that rivalry. Because the Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, so many people started watching basketball because of that rivalry.
The NCAA.
And then it transferred, and then they're freshmen, then they're rookies, and Angel Reese has got friggin' 900 double-doubles back-to-back. Caitlin Clark had a great freshman rookie year. Shout out to those girls. I think those are the core to the expansion and to the growth. What do you think?
Yeah, I think you're 100% right on that. And I was thinking about that today after me and you talked the other day. And if you think about the growth also, and I'm going to say like the LGBT community, and it's more acceptable than it was when WNBA first started.
That's right.
And then you got girls, some of the sexiest women in the world playing the thing. So it's almost like they hitting so many different things, and you can't discount sports betting. Because right now, that's major right now because this time of the year, the only thing is baseball and WNBA for the most part.
And look, you can't go play some bet without knowing your stuff.
Exactly. So you got to know your stuff. So guys are gonna be looking at highlights. And I got like my iPad and my computer stuff, WNBA stats. Okay, who's got this at halftime and stuff. So all those things is like a perfect storm for success. Like say Caitlin Clark, and same thing with Steph Curry effect. And it was kind of good and bad for grassroots because. Only thing little kids want to do is shoot a three. So when Caitlin Clark came out busting threes everywhere, every little kid want to go out there shooting threes and stuff. And guards and small people always push the sports because the people in the streets can relate to a small person. It's like as much as I love LeBron and respect him for his career in this game, you don't see a guy say, I'm going to the gym and bully somebody or like LeBron or do this or that. But when Steph got popular, every kid shooting a three. They're not even strong enough to shoot threes, and they're throwing up threes and stuff. But I think they're on a good ground. The money is great. You like I said, Angel Reese, she's been a Victoria's Secret. She got millions of endorsements outside. Caitlin Clark has regardless of you don't like her or not, to me, I respect your skills. I respect your game. So there's nothing I can say about it. If you look at her thing, she's tops in 3 categories in the thing.
Yep.
And you have Asia Wilson, who's the best player.
Best player in the league. We all agree with that.
The thing. And you got, she dates Bam Adebayo. He's wearing her shoes in the game. Angel Reese's brother plays with Washington. He wearing her shoes and thing. And the shoes look good. So I will wear some Angel Reese shoes too. So it's a lot of stuff that's playing great for them as far as the money growing and stuff. So I think it's just going to keep going up.
I agree. I think it's going to go up, man. I think it's going to like double going up. I think it's on the right trajectory. Right. I'm super happy for the girls. Shameless question, Blake, do you even watch WNBA?
I don't watch, so I look at it from a different perspective. Okay. To me, I'm just more the mainstream social media. And I think you're right. The Angel Reese, the Caitlin Clark, Sophie Cunningham, all that drama, I look at it as an algorithm thing. When you got people Googling and searching and X and Instagram and all that gets going, and you've got all these little shorts and these clips of them fighting and them getting into it, and it just turns into a snowball, and the algorithm's hot right now for the WNBA.
That's a great point. That's a great point. We can move on to our last segment. I am on the last segment. Here we are. Every week, let me tell you about, let me start over. Neuse Sports Insiders is a $1.99, meaning $1.99 group you can join, and you can get behind-the-scenes information, direct line with me. We talk about stuff that I really can't talk about publicly, but I get a little messy, give my opinions and stuff. But every week from that group, I pull a question out from my subscribers from our fan mail. Right here is our fan mail, and I got our first fan mail this week from our first episode. I'm going to pull it on the screen. Blake, you enjoy this. You know this guy. You play football with this guy. Jamayan Phillips asks, I need your not too early football predictions. What school athletes had the most to prove? Who has the most pressure? Who's rebuilding? Who should dominate? Man, this is a loaded question. Chappriel, I know you want to jump on this, but I'm going first. I am going first.
Right.
J.H. Rose has got a lot of transfers in. It's time for them to win. They got a lot of pressure on them. It's time for J.H. Rose to win. They got a lot of good transfers. They got Cable from D.H. Conley. They got Beckett Ingles, Green Central's best lineman over there for them, and they got a bunch of other guys as well. It's time for the powerhouse to be a powerhouse. I think Eastern North Carolina needs it. I think Eastern North Carolina needs it because the more coaches that J.H. Rose pulls in is the more recruiting coaches that they're going to go to other schools in the area. The better J.H. Rose and teams like New Bern can be, the big schools, the better Eastern North Carolina can be. So with the recruits and with the need from Eastern North Carolina, and when I say recruits, I meant transfer portal, I think J.H. Rose has the biggest one on their shoulders. I got to pull this back up. Early football, most to prove, most pressure, who's rebuilding, who should dominate. Rebuilding. Kinston High's got to be on that list. You lost your quarterback. You lost 2 D1 wide receivers. You lost your running back. You lost your best defensive player. And I'm sure there's a lot more. Kinston High going through the state championship last year and coming off on what they put on the field last year, I think this is a rebuilding year. I might be wrong, but I got Kinston as rebuilding. You go ahead and jump in. What you want to put in?
With Kinston, if you know the conference, every team in the conference, even Tarboro, lost superstars, like quarterbacks, which I think Green Central's the only team that returned the quarterback out of the conference. So Kinston's always going to have athletes, you know what I'm saying? And everybody in the conference going to rebuild. To me, and this you can take this to Pitt County, Lenore County, whatever. To me, your whole season is decided by the trenches. Every school got athletes. I don't care where you go at. Whoever coaches up your line, defensive line, offensive line, is going to have the smoothest transition as far as if you think they're rebuilding or not. But like I said, all those schools you named have athletes. Like I said, now they're inexperienced in some cases. And I would say like this, if you look at the coaches, if you want to see who's the best line coach in the area, that's the team that's going to be dominant. And same with Pitt County. He said with South Central, when you playing Farmville, when you playing Kinston, bro, theoretically you should have no close game with them. You got a great pool of students than they got. Should have better athletes than they got. So, you got to handle your business in Pitt County with the Pitt County schools. But when you playing these smaller schools, if they're hanging with you 30-something to 36-30, or in some cases, like I think Farmville beat D.H. Conley last year, like there's no way that 3A should be beating 6A schools. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But when you break it down, it's in the trenches football.
I got a couple more to name. Got to throw them out there. Teams that I think would dominate, I think Northeastern is going to dominate this year. They're used to dominating.
Oh, yeah.
But I think with their quarterback, having a returning quarterback, has thrown for almost 4,000 yards last year. I don't know the exact numbers off the top of my head, but Ishman is one of the top quarterbacks in Eastern North Carolina. Northeastern will dominate this year, in my opinion. Jamayan Phillips asked the question. Jamayan Phillips says the South Central defensive coordinator. Pressure's on you, dog.
Yeah, and you know
pressure's
what?
Pressure's on you, dog.
And that's 100. If you're going by the records for last year, everything, really, the pressure is on them more than anybody in Pitt County. So, put up or shut up.
But look, and I say this because I got confidence in my guy, but also say this because I know I talk to him all the time, so I got a little bit inside. They got dogs. They are 7A, so they're going to play against teams that got dogs too. But it's time to start development. Coach Bowie's in his second year as a head coach.
Yeah.
I think this is Phillips' third year as defense coordinator. I'm sorry if I'm wrong on that. That's my homeboy. But they got to start performing.
Yeah,
he
has a great staff, and you got the talent. Every one of those schools got talent. Like I said, you got more big boy supermodels walking those school campuses than in football uniforms. And you can go to any school now, you like, this joker taught 290. Tight jeans on, he ain't on the football team. So, and that's one thing I'll say where I remember Battle Holly. Man, he walked to the school, hey, son, what's your phone number? What's your email address? What's your social media? You got to go make these guys come out to drink the water, make them love it, and turn them to dogs. Point blank, period. And like I said, Pitt County, you getting all these middle schools pouring into all your schools. So the talent is there. So it's going to be the fault in the coaching.
I got another one to call out, and this is just off tradition and respect. Wallace Rose Hill, it's a powerhouse. They went 6-6 last year. This is some pressure. Great powerhouse teams don't do back-to-back bad years.
Right.
And I'm saying this only because I'm surprised, but I know they're going to be back. I know they're going to keep building. But it's another team that's got pressure on. Another team that's got – it ain't a lot of pressure because we know what's going to happen. Tarboro, they lost their quarterback, who also was the best defensive end in the state. They lost one of the best running backs we've seen ever in Cam McDowell and a bunch of other guys. How much pressure is on Tarboro to compete?
I'm going to tell you, somebody, this is a second level message from like Tarboro. Their motto is they want you to quit the team in the weight room.
Yep.
When somebody when somebody living there, that's just so it's next man up, and they've proven all these years. So that's a team they can lose every offensive key person, and I still give them the benefit of the doubt. So.
Yeah, you good. Hey, in the comments, tell us what Tarboro's record is going to be. Tell us what JX Rose record is going to be. What's South Central going to do? What's Kinston going to do? Tell us, what's Green Central going to do? Is Eastern Wayne lost a lot? What are they going to do? Is New Bern going to come back on top ever? What are the teams that had the most to put up with and the most pressure, and who's going to have a rebuilding year? Tell us in the comments who that is and what record they'll have. Guys, this is the first episode of Trey Scott Sports Show, and it's done. It's over with. I appreciate you guys. My dog, Blake Heron, I know you're going to be successful. You always are. Been successful ever since the day I've known you. I should have led with this. I've known this guy since he was 4 days old. His mom, my mom's best friends. We grew up together. I know this guy like the back of my hand. He's a great dude. He's a great coach. For all athletes watching, go play for Blake Heron. He's got your back. He's going to get you to the next level. Coach Chappriel, I appreciate you. I know how hard you work. I know how much you care about these kids. I know how much you like fussing on me about stuff. That's why you're on here. You did a great job. This is Trey Scott Sports Show. I have nothing else besides shout out to our sponsors, Tiebreaker. Shout out to Carolina Medical Transport and all our other segment sponsors. Thank you for all you do. Keep watching all our stuff. If you didn't catch us live, all our stuff will be on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you follow. Hey, I appreciate all of it. Give me a comment. I'm Trey Scott. This is the Trey Scott Sports Show.